But ultimately, what I want to do with this video is just like highlight that perhaps it's something that you can do that is going to both improve your life and improve your career without you having to spend loads of money. I'm hoping my voice won't abandon me today. I've got lemon, ginger and honey tea. Let's go. Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Ayn. Nice to meet you. I am an events manager working in the publishing industry and I run this channel, obviously, because you're here watching one of my videos. Today I wanted to talk about something that I had mentioned on my Instagram stories and that quite a few of you were like, yes, let's chat about that. And it's something that I wish someone had told me way earlier in my career, but I suppose you kind of have to go through the motions and like realize this with time, so it's okay. I'm fine. I hold no grudges to the people that didn't tell me this before. And the thing that we're going to talk about today is the things that you can do to improve your career that have nothing to do with work. What are the things that are going to help you progress your career that have nothing to do with work? It seems counterintuitive at first, but there are so many things that you can do to help yourself progress in your career that really have nothing to do with your day job, with what you're doing at work, but have everything to do with you as a person, with your life and what happens outside of your job. And I want to do a little disclaimer. This is like my personal experience and what I went through, and I am not saying that these things are easy to implement or they are possible for everyone to do. I completely acknowledge the fact that we are all on different journeys and that we all have different challenges. So for some people, these things are going to be much harder to implement than others. But anyway, so I wanted to acknowledge that because the last thing that I want to be is like one of those people that just says, if you work hard, you are going to succeed. I don't believe in that. I think that there is a lot of things that have to happen together before you can like achieve any form of success. And I think for some people, some of these things are going to come naturally, whereas for other people, there's going to have to be a lot more challenges and hurdles to go through. Again, that's just my personal opinion. So the first thing that I wanted to share with you is some context. When I was in the earlier stages in my career, I really struggled to, you could say, fit in. I didn't really feel like I belonged. I had wanted to work in the publishing industry for so long and I finally achieved my dream, but it just didn't really feel that great. There were a lot of things that had nothing to do with my skills or my publishing knowledge that I had no idea how to navigate. And despite the fact that I felt like the most prepared that I'd ever been in my life for that specific job, I still wasn't having a great time. If anyone has met me in the past few years, this is probably gonna sound very bizarre. But at the beginning of my career, I really struggled. I'm just trying to like think how to explain it properly. I was basically in a job that I thought was gonna be like a dream that I had worked so hard for and I was so happy with. And I had prepared for years and got the publishing experience that I really think I needed to do a great job at it. But when I got there, I really struggled, and this kind of brought up this negativity in me because I was like, well, I have the skills and I have studied and I invested so much money in my MA, in all the things that I had done before, in networking and all the things that everyone was saying you should be doing to get into publishing. And now that I'm in, I am not having a good time and people don't seem to recognize that I am doing a good job. And what I realized was that I was investing my job with this enormous expectation to be 100, to give me 100% satisfaction, just overall, not even just the job itself. And I don't think this is uncommon. I have definitely ever since seen a lot of people, especially when you are in an entry-level position, falling into the same trap of investing your job with like, it has to be the be all and end all. And Personally, what I was doing was trying to fix it by working extra hard or trying to learn new things and kind of overcompensating in areas that actually didn't really help me at all. And then actually quite recently, a few months ago, I showed up at work and I was a bit stressed. It was like not a great time. It was kind of like starting to reflect on my work, and my boss asked me, Ayn, are you taking care of your shed? And this is potentially gonna make some people laugh. So he was referring to a book called The Shed Method. And it is funny because yes, we work in publishing, and yes, we do reference books when we're trying to have conversations about progression or just well-being or literally, quite literally everything. But this book talks about how to take care of your shed. And SHED stands for sleep, hydration, exercise, and diet. Now, when he said that to me, at first, I was just like defensive. And I was like, oh, of course, why are you asking me this? This has nothing to do with that. And then I took a step back and, I've got a really good relationship with my manager, and I know that he would never try to say that something was wrong in my life or anything like that. And there was no need for me to be defensive. And I had to think, and I was like, actually, am I? Am I looking after myself that way? Am I putting an effort into things that have nothing to do with work? And spoiler alert, I was not. I was really focused on work, and I was very invested in the projects that we had going at the moment. And my personal life, my well-being, my relationships outside of work were all suffering because of it. And so because of these things we're all suffering, I was bringing the frustration of that situation into work, which was aggravating everything. Now, I am not saying that if you're having a tough time at work is because you're not taking care of yourself. I don't think anyone should make that assumption. I think that's ridiculous. And yeah, that's definitely not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm saying is, sometimes the things that we can do that can help our career are really nothing to do with the things that we do during our 9 to 5. So if I take a step back and I look back at when I was really not happy in my job, the one thing that changed everything was looking after myself. I stopped working extra hours and tried to please everyone, skipping on my lunch break, to kind of achieve something that clearly I wasn't achieving anyway. And I started shifting my focus on things that would actually make me happy. I started taking my lunch break with friends, or maybe watching something during my lunch break. I started finishing work in time and investing time in learning new things or doing things that had nothing to do with my day job. And slowly but steadily, I started to create for myself an identity that was separate from work. And again, this might sound weird to some people, but hopefully some of you will be able to relate to it. I think a common thing when you work in an industry like publishing or like events or anything that requires you to have an extreme, deep passion for the topic or the subject or the area that you are specializing in, is that you struggle, or I struggled at least, to separate yourself from I'm at work and I'm outside. It kind of merges into one. I have always dreamed of working in publishing. I've always been really into books, as you can probably tell. When that became my job, something just didn't work anymore. And I had to find something that wasn't just, another side hustle or another project that I could actually add to my CV. I needed to do things for me. All this to say, there are some things that you can do to actually improve your career without you having to do them during working times. I am not talking about learning and development. This is not a video where I'm going to talk about how to get trained up or doing things like that. No. These things are things that you do when you're not working, but you have got to commit to them. The same way as you commit to your 9 to 5 or whatever time you work, you've got to commit to these things. These things, as well as obviously the SHED method, which you can use that little acronym to remind yourself what these things are. I would also add some more. I would add things like your mindset. I would add things like relationships and just your well-being in general. mental health is very important, physical health is very important. Make sure that you're living your life. That's kind of it, really. Make sure that your job isn't taking over everything, because if it is, it just becomes too much. You're investing this 9 to 5 with all this expectation, and it is unfair on you, it is unfair on your colleagues and on your workplace, but ultimately it just really does not help you to create an environment where you can progress. If you set your goals, it will be much easier to set yourself some boundaries, and when you respect your boundaries, people are going to respect you more, and that will help you to spot opportunity from a place of interest as opposed to from a place of necessity. You're not going to feel like you have to get that promotion. You're going to feel like you would like to go for that promotion. That would be a really nice next step in your career. You're not going to feel like you must volunteer for that project because you need that to achieve something, but you're going to maybe put your hand up and volunteer because actually sounds something like you could enjoy. Removing that pressure that we put on like our dream jobs and our dream industries is so important to have a healthy career and ultimately to progress. And the reason why I say to progress is because what is going to happen automatically once you start looking after yourself and your life in general and not just obsessing over your job or where you are in your career, you are going to be a much more interesting person. And that is the thing that I had absolutely no clue of. Now, I don't know if when I'm gonna re-edit this is just gonna sound really odd, and I would really love to hear your comments on this, but I genuinely feel like the moment that I made the shift from thinking that I had to work a certain way and actually living my life as a full-fledged human being, which sounds really weird, but you know, I think some of you will understand what I mean. It just like everything changed. So I don't know if this is gonna make sense, but I genuinely hope that some of you will take this as an opportunity to actually invest their time into something that isn't their day job, because it does really help with your life in general. You deserve to live your life. You're not your job and you're not your, you know, your role in a company, but also because it genuinely does help you to spot different opportunities, to have a different approach towards your career, to have a different energy to you that you can bring to work. And that will open more doors than I can ever begin to tell you. I hope that this has served as like a bit of a reminder that there are more things than just work, but also that when you recognize that those things are there, your work will benefit from it as well. And it's kind of like the whole thing of the richer get richer. And it's hard, I know. I had to do so much work on myself to get to the point where I kind of accepted this, because it was really difficult for me at the beginning. I was like, I have put so much effort and I've worked so hard and I have all these skills, and why are these people that know nothing progressing much faster than me? Likability is always going to be a thing in the workplace. If you work in a corporate job, there is going to be an element of you need to be relatable, you need to be able to build relationships, you need to be able to fit in somehow. And whether that is like right or wrong, I am not going to touch on in this video, but let me know if you want me to discuss that. But ultimately what I want to do with this video is just like highlight that perhaps it's something that you can do that is going to both improve your life and improve your career without you having to spend loads of money investing in more learning or putting more pressure on yourself to be better in your 9 to 5, because chances are you're doing absolutely amazing, and all you need to do is take some time for yourself and enjoy life. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video because it helps me massively. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and we're so close, so please help out a girl. And yeah, if you've got any video requests, as always, just leave them in the comments down below. See you next time.